Collective, what is going on? Let's start us off with some deep breaths, okay? I'm following the rhythm here, you guys. I'm receiving messages, okay? And I would like to document this, okay? Let's go ahead and keep up with those deep breaths. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. I'm following the rhythm here. Okay, there is much, very impactful, very influential energy that we just all experienced. This shift that we just all experienced in this full moon, recent full moon that we just had. A lot of us are still feeling the effects from this, okay? And for some of us, the effects just started for you, okay? Even if the full moon happened a day ago or 2 nights ago or something like that, you are still feeling the effects from this. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And so also maybe even taking you places in your imagination, okay? It's like, it's like jumping into a new paradigm, okay? And then leaving the old paradigm that you were in, okay? And hear me when I say this, okay? And I'm hoping that I'm making sense to somebody here when I say this, that you might have had an experience, and I'm speaking to somebody when I say this, and I'm following the rhythm, that you might have had an experience, a moment, okay, sometime this week, or just recently it happened, that you felt a really big shift, and now you're seeing your external, perhaps. Your external, okay. Your environment is changing and it's shifting. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind, and it's like a bit woozy, nauseated, okay, 222, when I said that shift made somebody feel sick, literally made like nauseous, okay. For a lot of you, you still may feel the effects, and the effects also comes with, feeling lethargic, feeling low energy, okay, and I'm following the rhythm here when I say this, feeling like you just have no energy, okay, because the shift was so impactful. The impact of it had made an impact in our perception collectively. And so what we are experiencing in the physical realm is overwhelming. Perhaps you having this human experience and your lens is shifting and your lens is changing so much that it's even hurting your eyesight, like you're having teary-eyed, okay? You probably have red eyes, okay? You also, some of you guys were getting allergies, getting sick, right? It's that season, but there's something about the eyesight that's very significant, where you're I'm hearing blind spots, but you're also like not seeing things how they usually are, okay? And this is where it leads me to talk about where you're seeing yourself and observing yourself in the physical reality. Okay, I don't mean to clutter you guys' mind when I say this, and I don't want to make this like sound complex, but like it's all happening internally. So in the way that I am explaining it at the same time, I'm following the rhythm and the energy that I'm in as I say this, because everything is happening internally. The shift happened internally, and so it's not visible to everybody. It's internal, 444. And so what's happening to us in the shift that we just experienced made an impact in our perception. I feel like I'm also getting a lot of energy on projection. because we have moments where we lack self-awareness, and so we're not actually paying attention to where we are with ourselves and behaving around certain people. Okay, this may be an experience for some. I'm following the rhythm here. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. There's also something about resonance, okay? This could be resonance in terms of like somebody's voice. There's resonance in somebody's voice. There is also resonance in someone's behavior, somebody's approach, okay? And I also saw 545 when I said that. There is a heavy impactful, influential energy, okay? And there's resonance. You may be one around somebody who is like this and you're experiencing this, or you may be one carrying that energy, and there's resonance in the energy that you carry, okay? I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. You may be feeling yourself to be in a space where you are manifesting. You are literally in the space of manifestation. Okay. You are, for some of you guys, this shift, it had put you, okay, there's something about, and I'm getting the word vortex, okay. There's something about you now having to step into a whole new world. Okay. And you may not even be realizing this, collective, that you now have stepped into the literal space of manifestation. Okay. You have made your way up to get there. Okay. I have abundance here. It's like you are in the space of manifesting and manifestation. Okay. I'm following the rhythm here, you guys. And I'm gonna use this tarot. Ooh, I was gonna say I have my tarot deck and I want to use my tarot deck, and out came the High Priestess, the first card. Okay. And I feel like this card has been coming up a lot in my readings. You know, I feel like, and I'm gonna follow the rhythm here when I say this, collective, that and during this time, a lot of us are waking up to our spiritual gifts. Okay, and take this as it resonates, you guys. A lot of us are waking up to our spiritual gifts. That's a big shift. And that's why some are getting sick, some are getting woozy. Your physical body may not agree to it at first because it's a heavy impact, but I feel also that your physical body is adjusting to it and getting to know it. And when I mean it, it's like your physical body aligning with your spirit, your physical body aligning with your spiritual body, if you will. Because the High Priestess tells me that you have mastered something here, but I'm instantly picking up on a lot of us are waking up to our spiritual gifts, and the ones who are awakened to their spiritual gifts, the experience that your physical body is having, at first, it is going to get rid of toxins. At first, your body is going to reject anything that is not wholesome or healthy. Therefore, getting sick, releasing a lot. I just heard releasing mucus, like literally anything that is displeasing to your body and your health. Okay. And so as you are ascending and getting to know and gaining so much knowledge, and tapping into your spiritual gifts, collective, I'm speaking to somebody here. This comes with a lot of physical care. Okay. Physical care. This full moon had an impact on everybody in a very, very positive way. Very, very positive way. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And for some, it feels like hell. It feels like hell. It feels like you're carrying so much on you that you don't know what to do with yourself. And I feel like I can relate to what I just said right now. And some aspects of my life right now, that's going on in my life right now. That the shift has made a very, very positive impact on everybody collectively, and only positive, but we're not experiencing it as positive. For some, it feels like a huge tower moment that now it's like you're going from happy and then all the way down and then staying down. A lot of us also are having great releases, meaning you are, remember how I mentioned something about like releasing mucus? You're literally like releasing mucus. You're like profusely crying, okay? And this is your way of releasing. This is all of a sudden, this probably all of a sudden just happened to you. You didn't even know how much you can cry. For some of you guys, it's like you're surprised that you even cried this much at this time. Perhaps that was the impact the full moon had on you. It was so strong that it really needed to release anything that's not good out of your body, and the mucus that's stuck in your system, it needs to go. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And so while we are experiencing the endings, we're thinking to ourselves that this is the death of me. This is like the end of me. But the endings feel like hell. To a lot of us, I feel like this is the energy I'm picking up. I'm following the rhythm here. It feels like hell. Our physical body feels like hell. And at this point, it's like we have to it's like I'm getting like we have to be so self-aware that we don't suppress or we don't numb or like, you know, go to something that's not going to give you that complete medicine, like cure, soothe. And I'm getting also safety. Okay. For some of you guys, I was getting the message that what is revealing to you is revealing to you how you are behaving, or you may be one observing yourself in how you're behaving and how you're moving. And this could be defined differently for anyone, okay? This is a message for somebody that you're experiencing yourself, observing yourself and how you're behaving. And so this full moon has shifted your perception, okay? Like, for instance, before, your focus was external and outwardly. Your focus was on everybody. But you have gained self-awareness, is what I'm getting here, okay? I have the moon here. You have gained self-awareness. And so now you're observing yourself and your behaviors. And I think that for some of you guys, while you are having these moments, you're going to yourself, I need to improve. And for some of you guys, you have improved. For some of you guys, you're catching yourself and you're going, okay, I see it now. For some, it's going back to what I was saying about projection. For some, it's like one behaving as such, but they're not actually operating from truth. They may think that they are operating in truth, or they may think that they're operating in truth, but in fact there's some kind of deception here that's blocking somebody from seeing the actual truth. And that is what is being projected to somebody else. And that can also, can make somebody feel very, very uncomfortable when one is not true to themselves, and then projecting a lot of false onto somebody else. It is very, I'm hearing disruptive, okay? It's very disruptive to one's health, and the one who lacks the awareness to take heed on self-deception, okay? I have the High Priestess and the Moon together. I mean, I feel like it has become a very heavy shift to a point of change and real change. To a point of like, you remember what I said about being, everybody got hit with this change, but it's positive, right? The shift is positive, but we're not feeling it like it is. Because at first, it's coming to us like it's nasty. Like it's coming to attack us or something. Like a big tidal wave just ready to, and you're over here writing it. So it doesn't feel like a positive shift, but it is a positive shift. Is that it just made the wave happen, and now it's just hitting everybody in all kinds of places. Like now the wave that everybody is feeling, everybody's feeling differently. I take that back, sorry. Your body is experiencing it differently, because not everyone's body is in the same timeline. And so this tidal wave, this big ass wave that we just felt, right? During this full moon, this recent full moon, and this big wave that just hit us, your body is responding to that, but we don't know how your body is actually responding to it. We don't actually know how your physical body is responding to it. I'm following the rhythm here. We don't actually also know where people have been operating from. Have they been operating from fear? Have they been operating from love in truth? Because this whole time somebody could be thinking that they've been living their life thinking they've been living in truth, but in reality, in this shift that we just experienced, now their perception has shifted, and now they're thinking to themselves, have I been really lying to myself this whole time? Have I really been living a lie this whole time, and I'm just now finding out that I've been deceiving myself? It's that kind of vibe that I'm getting for some of us, okay? And like I said, that our body, like every single one of us, are living in a different timeline. And so this shift, whatever shift that we experience in that moment in time, is different for everybody. It's how your body, your physical body is responding to the wave, is responding to the resonance, the shock wave. Does that make sense? Now it has left a mark on you. Now it has left a mark on your temple, your body. Now it's responding, your body is responding to it, and it's making you realize things. This moon also illuminates truth that we didn't know, that we don't know, that's inside of us. There's a lot of truth that our body carries that we don't know about. I'm literally just following the rhythm here. Our body, that's amazing. I love that. Our body carries so much truth that we don't even know that we carry that much truth. That when we are hit with a full moon, when we are hit with a big shift, a big transit, and now all of a sudden you have this big ass epiphany and you're thinking to yourself, I didn't even know this truth was in me this whole time. That's insane. That's very like big, and just, I'm just thinking of like an empty big space. We don't know what people are gonna fill that room with. It literally is the unknown, and you're just filling it with information. Imagine your imagination, your whatever it is you think about. Depending on the things that you think about, whether they're good or bad, that is what is revealing to some of us. Collective, that's what's revealing to a lot of us. Okay, collective, hear me when I say this. That now you're having this big epiphany, realization. Have I really been operating from this or from that this whole time? Whatever this or that means and looks like. You know, I have said this before, and I've said this in my content, in my reels before, okay? I had mentioned something that, you know, self-deception is real. It's a thing. Sometimes we don't even realize that we are deceiving our own self, so that when we're facing other people, we're thinking that, you know, we are the ones being attacked. When sometimes it is us that gets in the way of everything, and even gets in the way of having a good conversation with people around us, because we're too much in our head. That's how much also when our subconscious is filled with so many things that's not even true. You're just filling it up with things that is not even true. There's a lot of vibe and strong energies coming through when it comes to self-deception. It is insane and wild right now. I'm feeling this energy. It's like that feeling when it gets really dark out. And you're like, I'm not going out there. No, I'm not walking to the grocery store at this time. No, I'm not. It's way too dark out there. It's way too cold. It's way too quiet too. It's like one of those nights where you feel like I should really stay in, because anything can happen out there in the dark, in the cold. And it's not a good feeling. And whatever is out there in the cold, in the dark, we don't want to know what that is. But that's where you are with your mind, is what I'm saying. That some of us are in that place, and our mind is not actually visible to everybody. You're not actually out there. It's just in your mind. That's the energy I'm getting. This moon is so significant right now. Woo. I suppose that while it is accompanied by the high priestess, this is also telling me that this is our spiritual gifts, like tapped in to our spiritual gifts right now. We're tapped in. we're in winter solstice. Therefore, now all of us are recharging, going back to my little corner, reassessing, replanning, planning. And by going within, you are tapped in also to your spiritual gifts. This is a conversation between you and the Supreme during this time. Higher, I'm getting higher as you are talking to him. It's a conversation between you and the Supreme. It's a conversation always between you and your spirit team. It's a conversation between you and God. And you see, we don't, know the conversation that's happening between what's going on between you and him. It's a conversation between you and him. And so when you are having a conversation between you and the Supreme, your spirit team, you're tapped into your spiritual gifts. This is scary for some of us right now. I feel it myself. It's like a feeling like you're scaring yourself. You're scaring yourself. Because for one, don't go out there. It's cold and it's dark. And yet some of you guys are still going out there in the cold and the dark. It's like I'm getting this energy of big and bold, okay, and not afraid. Literally, in the cut. Like, I'm getting this energy, okay, I'm talking to somebody here when I say this, like, you're so fearless that you don't care to go out there in the dark and the cold. It's like you have gotten used to adversity and facing adversity, right? That you have learned to really step up and taking the initiative with so much courage. It's like this, it's a life that you've been living. You've lived a very hard life. I'm speaking to somebody here when I say this, you guys. I'm following the rhythm here when I say this, okay? And I feel like this energy is just ever flowing right now, and it's incredible. And when I'm speaking to somebody here, I'm speaking to somebody here when I say that you've had a really hard life. And so stepping out there in the cold and the dark is nothing to you. You are fearless because you have experienced worse. And not just that you had to go out there in the dark and the cold, but you actually had to stay out there in the dark and the cold because you had nowhere else to go. I'm speaking to somebody here who had a very, very hard life, who became homeless and then worked their way up to have something. I'm speaking to somebody here. You hear me? I'm speaking to somebody here when I say this. And now tapped in to your spiritual gifts. Now able and capable. Okay, I'm following the rhythm here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Very significant, the Empress right now, okay? Very significant. There's something very significant about our women at this time. I'm following the rhythm here. I'm getting the message that our women need a lot of our support. For our women at this time, and I'm speaking to a lot of us right now when I say this, that we need a lot of support when it comes to our emotions and managing emotions and finding, I'm hearing journal entries, maybe for some to look back to your journals and to read your journal. And then I also got, and it can also be interpreted as like to look into how we are able to start a conversation. Sorry guys, I'm having a moment, zoning out for a little bit. It's like how you're able to start up a conversation that is welcoming and warm, like that's going to give somebody the warmth, like welcoming them in the conversation so that one does not feel so alone. Loneliness is also significant at this time, and for our women I feel like that is significant. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. I'm also getting with this Empress, okay, and a lot of this courage energy is coming through. Okay, what I'm also getting with this Empress is that a lot of what I just talked about with the spiritual gifts that we're tapping into, you're in this space of manifestation at the same time, because you are now at a higher frequency, tapped into your spirituality, therefore tapped into your resources, tapped in to yourself, tapped into your creative pursuits, tapped into your talents. And so I'm getting like, this is us literally manifesting anything at will wherever you are, because you're working in a higher frequency. And so even in times where we find ourselves to have less, maybe even less in material, less in money, and feeling less, to start by being grateful for what you do have. And then knowing that you are worthy. And then I feel like there will be an action taken when you've set that intention. Ooh, I'm getting that energy here. There is a struggle. Okay, I'm hearing there's a struggle between man and women. There's a battle, there's a struggle between man and women, and I feel like a lot of that power struggle, I want to say, and I'm following the rhythm here when I say this, is like there's a battle, a war, if you will, between man and women. Okay, and I'm following the rhythm here. I'm imagining, okay, a man and a woman arguing in a debacle of some sort, okay, and both really brave, okay, both really brave. And what I'm getting here, both really brave because one is fighting for what they love, perhaps one fighting for what they've always wanted, okay, and this is where courage comes in. I feel like it will, and hear me when I say this, okay, and I'm following the rhythm here, it will become dangerous if your intention is to harm. Okay, I'm following the rhythm here when I say this, and this is for somebody when I say this, that it will become dangerous if your intention is to harm. One cannot make it to the highest peak if your intention is always to bully and to cheat. Because perhaps one is at their highest peak, and that has become a problem. because you're working off of a higher frequency, and now everyone thinks they got a problem with you. Excuse me. When one, I suppose, okay, and hear me when I say that, when one is intentionally when you have the intention and going after the vision that's in your mind, okay, when you strongly have a vision and you really want this to happen, it's like your focus is like no other, you know? And so your focus can also be a problem to some people. That when you are at your highest peak and they are seeing that collective, you know, they can't help but to like observe, monitor, and watch. You know, it's very attractive energy. It's almost like you can't stop a person from doing and fighting for what they love. And so when I say both, you can't stop somebody from from going after what they love, whatever that means for you in your life and however you want to define that in your life. So when a man wants what they want, they're going to do whatever it takes, and sometimes even going mad and going through it. And so when a woman goes after what they love, they too will act the same with so much courage. And so when one is seeing another trying to climb and they're making it, and the other's going, well, why am I not there? And why are they there? Right? But perhaps it's not about who is where and what is what. Perhaps it's about one's progression. Okay, I have the 5 of Swords, Death card. Perhaps it's not about where you are, but everything that you have gained from this whole thing up until now. Whatever it is that you have gained along the way, it has been the progression, it has been the process. It is a life or death situation, and one is going to do whatever they can to protect, to save, sustain, and to keep up and to manage. That is the message, and I hope that this helped somebody. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here, you guys. My name is Kimber, and thank you for tuning in to another one. I didn't think it was gonna be this long, so if you stayed with me this whole time, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. I will see you guys in the next. Love and peace. I love you. Bye.